A large part about advancing into leadership is to build visibility at work. It's fine to build visibility with your coworkers, but if you want to reach a leadership position, you need to be a lot more strategic about who you build visibility with. You need to build visibility in front of the right people, those people who are in charge of promotions and hiring decisions, namely your boss. So in this video, we're going to look at how you can build visibility in front of your boss when you're an emerging leader. Now, this requires you to use a specific method, which I like to call the insider method. Let's take a look at what the insider method is. The insider method is where you build visibility inside your boss's line of vision and sphere of influence. This helps you to get noticed by them for the right things so they have the power to promote you. Let's break this down. When I say get noticed by your boss for the right things, this is because you might not be getting noticed by your boss at all. Or if you are, you might not be getting noticed by them for reasons that will lead to a promotion. For example, you might be getting noticed as someone who always follows orders and who is really organized, but these aren't necessarily the qualities that your boss will look for in a future leader. If you don't have or demonstrate the leadership qualities that they're specifically looking for, then it will be much harder for you to convince your boss and for them to convince the higher ups that you deserve to be promoted. When I say so they have the power to promote you, what I mean by that is your boss is part of a larger power structure in the company. And even if they want to promote you, they might be blocked because they don't have the approval or the funds from their boss or other higher ups in the organization. To overcome these two issues, you need to get noticed by your boss for the right things so they have the power to promote you. That is what the insider method is about, and this is how you build it. First, to get in your boss's line of vision, you need to identify what is important to them, and you need to direct your energy towards tasks and projects that help accomplish things that are important to your boss. This is important for 3 reasons. When your boss sees you working on what is important to them, they first see you as a team player rather than someone who is working for their own self-interests. Second, they see you helping them, which they will no doubt be grateful for. And third, you align yourself with higher level work, which prepares you for the elevated work that leadership demands. You might be wondering, how can I know what is important to my boss? Well, you need to ask them. Ask them when you start your job with them in the very first meeting you have with them. Ask them during performance reviews or in your regular one-on-one meetings with your boss. And listen carefully during meetings. Try to pick up on what your boss is working on and what is important to them at that time. Asking this question and having this knowledge isn't something that many professionals do. It's generally not something that happy professionals do in their current position. It's only something that ambitious, driven professionals like yourself would take on. Second, you need to exist, work, and operate in your boss's line of vision. This means that at least part of your energy should go towards getting your boss to know who you are, what you're working on, what you're capable of, and what you've achieved. A lot of the time, people don't get promoted because their boss has no idea how good they are. They do a fantastic job completing tasks and completing projects, but other than that, most of their work and effort goes unnoticed. Sometimes this is because your boss might not be very observant or interested in what you do, but most of the time it's because the employee themselves thinks that if they keep their head down and do a really good job at work, they will automatically be noticed and promoted. But as many of you may have experienced, this doesn't always happen, so you need to work at becoming more visible in your boss's line of vision so they can no longer ignore you. To avoid being ignored by your boss and feeling undervalued, you need to increase your visibility by attending all meetings that you have access to and all events that you have access to as well. And this includes networking events too. Speak up in meetings with your ideas, even if those ideas might be hazy in the beginning. Watch this video up here to learn how to clearly communicate hazy ideas during meetings. Ask questions during meetings to your boss or to other people in the room, because this shows curiosity and it shows that you're interested in what is going on. Acknowledge when your boss says something interesting or helpful. You can also volunteer to work on projects that are important to them, which loops us back to point 1 that we talked about in this video. All of these ideas will definitely help you to build your visibility in your boss's line of vision to give you the most chance of getting promoted. Third, you need to exist, work, and operate in your boss's line of vision. Yes, you heard me right. Your boss's line of vision. I mentioned earlier in this video that your boss is part of a larger power structure in the organization. So your boss has a boss. It will pay you dividends if you get noticed not only by your boss, but by their boss as well. This person is higher in the organization. They have more power, meaning they could have more power than your boss when it comes to hiring decisions. If you can get in front of them, if you can build visibility in front of them and get them to know who you are, what you're working on, what you're capable of, what you've achieved, then they could make the decision to promote you instead of your boss. They could also convince your boss to promote you because they think you're amazing. It could also lead to you being headhunted by other organizations because word spreads around that you're really good at your job. It's important to think vertically and horizontally. Think higher and wider than you would when you're a junior or entry level in your career. As I talk about in this video up here, how to move from a manager to a leader or executive position, it's really important that you broaden your focus. What you need to do now is start by identifying the power structure that surrounds you. Map out where you are in this power structure, where your boss is, and who is above them. Try to get to know who those important people are, especially those people who are directly linked to your boss, and start to build visibility in front of those important people. You can use the tips that I talked about in the previous point to do this. Fourth, you need to bring your coworkers into the mix and get them to talk about you as well. It's fine to have visibility with your boss and with your boss's boss, but if it's backed up by support from your coworkers, then your visibility will be so much more impactful. Because your coworkers talk amongst themselves and also with your boss. If your name is dropped in a conversation and people talk about you in an esteemed way, it will definitely spark an interest with your boss and get them to notice you more. Here, you're starting to think horizontally and building valuable connections with your coworkers, people who are at the same level as you or slightly higher up. Get to know what your coworkers are working on, what they've contributed to the company, what projects they've excelled in. Ask them questions about what they're working on to show curiosity and interest. This will definitely help you to build a valuable connection with them. Boast about them during meetings. This will help them to feel important. It will help you to build visibility for them without them having to do anything, and they will absolutely love you for that. And you can also help your coworkers out with things that they are struggling with. This will help them to boast about you in the next meeting as well. You see, you don't work in a vacuum. A massive part of anyone's career progression depends on other people. The better relationship you have with those people surrounding you in the company, the more visible you will become. Number 5, you need to talk more about yourself. This includes your skills, your expertise, your experience, and your accomplishments. You need to talk about this to help your boss get to know what these things are. A lot of people don't want to do this. They don't like to boast about themselves because they don't want to be seen as conceited, arrogant, or pompous. I get it, but there is a way to do this in a tasteful and elegant way. Claim the opportunity during meetings to talk about what you are working on. Make sure your boss and your coworkers as well are very clear on what it is you're working on and how that project is progressing. You can also use your one-on-one meetings with your boss to keep them up to date with your achievements. This is a great opportunity for you to have a conversation directly with them and to keep them updated about how you are progressing. You can compile a list of your accomplishments for your performance reviews, and whenever you have your regular performance review conversations every 6 months, every 12 months, whatever it might be, make sure you let your boss know about these accomplishments. And make sure you keep your boss updated with the progress on everything that you are working on. Have regular conversations or emails or exchanges in some way with them so they know exactly what it is you're working on and how you are progressing and what you are achieving. It's really about leaving nuggets of information with your boss about what you're working on, what you've accomplished. So over time, you can build that level of visibility with them. You can also weave in your future career aspirations or projects that you would like to work on so your boss can get an idea of how you would like to progress and advance in your career. And of course, the way you talk about yourself and your achievements matters a lot as well. If you use hesitant style of communication, then your boss won't see the full extent of what you're capable of or the full extent of what you've achieved. Your hesitant communication style, it will diminish your accomplishments. And that's not the result that you want to end up with. So if you need to work on this area of your communication, then you will need to watch this video next, how to confidently talk about your achievements. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got a lot of valuable tips from it. If you did like it, please hit the like button below. Subscribe to my channel as well for more videos like this to help you on your leadership journey in the future. And I will see you next week in another video.